Welcome to another edition of CEOs You Should Know. My name is Eric Lemieux, and I have the honor of being here with Steve Levine, the president and CEO of AtmosAir Solutions. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Eric. It's a pleasure to be here, and glad we can share our technology with everyone today.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've been doing a lot of research. I was telling you this before the cameras went going, the mic went hot, and I'm kind of just blown away by this, and I'm excited to really dive in right now. I read this stat the other day, and they say that indoor air can be 100 times more polluted than outdoors, which one blows me away, and two, that as humans, most people spend 90% of their day indoors.
Absolutely. It's the indoor air quality because of people, because of contaminants, because of your carpets, and the indoor air is much worse than the outdoor air. And here we are bringing in that outdoor air in every building and every home. And when you think about what's happening in the world today with wildfires and floods and things like that, when you bring in that bad contaminated air, it just makes the indoor air that much worse.
And it's interesting because we all, like, everybody obsesses about what's in our food and the water that we drink, but not always the air you're breathing, And like, this is a kind of a forgotten wellness trend, I feel, right?
Because it's invisible, right? As clean water became so prevalent I don't know if you remember the days when the Flint water crisis woke up everybody about clean water. Because air is invisible, we have the same type of issue. How do we turn the invisible visible and show people what they're breathing, and then be able to help them take those bad contaminants out of the air?
Mm-hmm. I like that term, the invisible visible. So those that aren't familiar with it, give us in layman terms. Tell me about AtmosAir.
So we started back 22 years ago in the air testing business. We used to go into all types of buildings, schools, hospitals, and we would test the air quality. And we would, good or bad, write the report. This is what your air quality is. And a lot of people were concerned, even so much that maybe they didn't want to test it, because if it's bad, what are they going to be able to do about it? So after looking around the world at different filters and UV lights and electronic air cleaners, we found a technology in Sweden we got our arms around. It was called bipolar ionization, and a specific type, dielectric barrier discharge. I don't want to get technical on you, but okay. It was a tube-like technology that put these negative and positive ions into the air. Almost when you go to the mountaintop environments and you breathe that clean, healthy air, there's that natural ionized air that's taking all that bad stuff out of the air in higher elevations. Mm-hmm. And so this technology really is doing the same thing. It's actually bringing back nature, and we're using that nature to take all the bad contaminants and particulates out of the air.
That's amazing. We got to figure out a way to get you involved with New York Transit. I rode a subway this morning. Disgusting.
Terrible. Underground, first of all kinds of contaminants, all kinds of particulates, all kinds of smells and odors and bacteria, viruses and germs. And the idea is any indoor environment could use this technology, because the contaminants that people are breathing and not seeing every day. And by putting this technology into any heating and air conditioning system and distributing these ions will actually take out all the bad contaminants that you're breathing.
Mm-hmm. And you're working with, airports, different arenas, Crypto.com in LA arena, SoFi Stadium, global brands like Hilton and Google are embracing this now. Like, think what that does for the everyday work environment, how that must, not as many sick days. Like, people are a little bit more productivity is a lot bigger there, right?
It is. And the way we started the business, where we wanted to go first, was if we could make a major difference in professional sports. Everybody goes to watch those games, and 20,000 people or 100,000 people in a venue. And so if we could take all those professional sports facilities and make them cleaner and healthier environments, it would translate down to colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Colleges want to create those cleaner, healthier environments as well, and then schools, and then eventually the consumer. So we focused on sports, and today we have most of the NFL and NBA and NHL that's using our technology for their players, for the fans, and for the employees as well that work there.
And you started out, I'm a big New York Giants fan, but you started out with the Cowboys, I read.
We started out with the Cowboys because it was interesting. We got invited to do a survey and presentation at their training center in Valley Ranch.
Okay.
And at the time, Stephen Jones, who was one of the owners of the Cowboys, said, "Why don't you show this technology to our head trainer?" And we did. And he said he'd like to try it in part of the building. And after he tried it and they noticed a significant difference in overall air quality, Stephen Jones suffered from allergies. And every time he walked into that side of the facility, he noticed that he was breathing a better air. And he really said, I need this not just for the rest of the building, but I want it in my house and I want it in our training center. And that's where it started. But to your New York Giants, they caught on as well.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we want it in our training center as well. So we now have it throughout their whole training facility as well.
Hopefully that brings them more than 6 wins this year. We'll see what happens.
We hope so.
And so going back to AtmosAir, it's a family-run environment. You have your son's working there, or son-in-law, correct?
Yes. So
that must be great to be on, you have such a great mission and you've got your family there with you every step of the way.
in my prior business, it was all about, I was in the security alarm business for 20 years of my life. And that business was all about creating peace of mind and helping people in life safety situations. And we sold that business. I was partnered with my dad in that business. Mm-hmm. And when we said, what do we want to do next? It was all about, how do we help people?
Yeah.
And cleaning air was really on the top of our list. We said, let's create a business about improving indoor air quality. And so my family is part of that business, but we also have 60 people that I call my business family part of the business, and everybody does such an amazing job because it's not just selling or educating, it's technically designing, it's implementing, it's fulfilling. And so, yes, it's a family organization, but it's a bigger family organization, and we really appreciate our people, and we're always asking for new ideas. How can we take this technology to even another level?
Yeah. It's interesting. You came from home security, but you're still, in a way, it is home security.
It is. It's not too different from creating a life safety. Where at night when you turn on that alarm, you get that peace of mind. Mm-hmm. And in this business, it's about creating a better breathing experience. Yep. And when people can breathe better and less contaminants, they actually live longer.
Yep.
People live longer in the mountain environments, and they live longer next to the seashore and whatnot, because there's this natural ionization process, and people are breathing in less contaminants, and they're sick a lot less. And so we're just trying to emulate that nature. So
I was down at the Jersey Shore last weekend, and the air was just fresh and just amazing. And you come back to New York City, wonderful.
It's a different deal.
Definite difference.
We had I don't know if you remember, it was a couple of years ago or so when all the issues about the wildfire smoke coming in from Canada. When you have our system inside the building and it's cleaning the air, you can actually tell what the outside air quality index is, and then you can measure against the indoor air quality index. And when you can see that difference, we have one big customer, Turner Construction, that put this in their headquarters. And one of the key reasons why, during COVID, the ownership wanted to get people back to the office. How do we show our office personnel, they had 300 people, that it's safe and it's sanitized and it's healthier to actually come back to the office? And so when you go into their their reception area, and you can see a big display that the indoor air is so pristine
Hmm.
and the outdoor air is what it is. We're really creating that enhancement inside every office building. It's really rewarding to see people really passionate about indoor air quality and clean air specifically.
Yeah, I could imagine that. I'm going to be on this mission to try to get iHeartMedia to install that here, so we can have that.
Well, it's to me it's commercial buildings, it's hospitals,
Yeah.
it's hotels, it's schools.
I saw
So important.
casinos as well, which is refreshing. Not that I'm a big gambler, but going into a casino with the smoke smell and
Yes.
whatnot.
So the technology when you go into a casino, there's typically two things going on from smoke, and smoke is a particulate in the air, but smoke is also what they call a VOC, a volatile organic compound.
Okay.
And so if you're going to really make the casino fresh and healthier for people to come in and gamble and be entertained, you got to take that particulate out of the air and you got to break down that odor and that VOC, because you don't want to come out of there with your clothes smelling, right? And you don't want to be sitting next to somebody that's blowing smoke in your face, and it's not good. So by cleaning up that environment really helps the casino attract more people, and they stay longer and they gamble more. It's self-fulfilling, I guess.
It's a win, yeah,
Yeah.
and it keeps people awake more. Gives
Exactly.
you more energy. So, you judge this live experience event, which I'm blown away by like the sight lines, the sound that you get from it. Imagine we can also include, think about the clean air that you're breathing in too. That's going to really enhance everything that people are doing.
When you think about, I always equate it to sustainability. Sustainability is so important today, and whether it's the water you're drinking or the air that you're breathing or the carpet that you're ordering for your building or the paint that you're using, we try to be sustainable. And in our world, it's if we can create this cleaner, healthier environment and actually recycle that clean air so you don't have to bring in as much outside air. If you think about that, every building has to bring in so much outside air per code.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's about 20%.
Okay.
But if you can clean the air so well and recycle clean air, you can actually reduce the amount of outside air you bring in, which saves energy, which reduces the carbon footprint, and creates a better environment for people. And so we really feel it's not just cleaning the air, it's all these sustainability initiatives that we touch, which is, I think, making us a very high topic of conversation when people are designing a building or moving into a new space or just thinking about how we can help the health of our employees type of thing.
Well, you've talked about this work family of 60 plus people that you have.
Mm-hmm.
As the founder and CEO of this company, you're the father here. You're the head honcho.
Mm-hmm.
What type of challenges have you been facing? Bringing clean air tech to the mainstream.
So in the beginning, it was about, do people really care about clean air?
Yeah.
They can't see it. How one day, it's nice to have it, but it's a nice to have. It's not a must have. And so we, over the years, we got involved in legislation and the ASHRAE committees. The ASHRAE is a society that tells you how much outside air you have to bring into a building. So it was getting involved in those early initiatives to make it more of a focal point. And then we had the challenges when all of a sudden this COVID issue happened. It was everybody wanted the technology. We took the technology down to Microchem, which is a place where you test your technology to see if it would have an effect against coronavirus. And it came back that it was 98% reduced by having this technology in, and all of a sudden, our sales just kept coming in from all over the place. Keeping up with production at that time was very, very difficult. We were able to do it, but that taught us that you really have to be prepared. look at your supply chains,
Yeah.
make sure you're forecasting correctly, make sure you have the right engineers on staff. When you have a client like Norwegian Cruise Line walked into our office and said, "We heard about your technology. We're really concerned about the cruise industry right now. How can we use your technology? Would you do a free trial for us?" We went and we did our trial. They came back in 4 days and they said, "We want this technology on every ship that we have. How can you get that technology installed in the next 90 days with 26 ships around the world?" But we strategize, we work with partners, and we were able to implement that. And so it was an incredible time, but it taught us that you always have to be prepared. You always have to be communicating, and we work really hard at that in our office to really strategize with each other.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was prepared for a pandemic like that, you know?
It was just earth-shattering. It was
Yeah.
so
Oh, by
devastating.
far.
But you think about being in a business
Yep.
where now we're on a mission of really helping people. They needed us at that point, and that really opened up the eyes to everyone on what indoor air quality is all about.
Yeah.
So even though our sales came down a little bit from that high of COVID, people are really focused on indoor air quality more than they've ever have been today. And I think that opened up a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah. You know, you really keep me honest here. You haven't done much in terms of traditional advertising. It seems like it's a lot of word of mouth because of the effect that it's having on people, right?
It's relationships,
Yeah.
right? And you get those relationships out there by being a thought leader in a technology that can really help people, and whether it be in sports or hotels. Hilton wants to create a hotel room that you have the best sleep experience. It's the most healthiest hotel room, and they want to advertise that to their guests. So it's to me, it's creating the vision that this is a technology that would really. It's a proactive technology. You can have a filter. A filter's good in your facility, but a filter's only good at catching things.
Yeah, of course.
This technology is more of an active technology. We're attacking the contaminants rather than reacting to them. So it's a much more proactive means of cleaning the air than reactive.
Okay. So what's next?
Wow. Planes,
Yeah.
trains, automobiles.
I'm telling you, subways. We got to figure the subway thing out.
We do have to figure it out, and we were a little bit ahead on that. So at the Riyadh Metro Center in Saudi Arabia has implemented our technology into the Metro Center there.
Okay.
So we are starting to get a little nibbles. We believe that any indoor environment that has a delivery system like a heating and air conditioning system where we implement our technology and are able to spread those ions out into the space, even a car.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's down the road here. We implement this into a car system and let them breathe that fresh, clean air and recycle that clean air. When you're sitting in traffic, you don't have to be breathing in those other cars' fumes. We're all trying to do better at cleaning up the world, and we're doing our part, by doing it proactively.
Okay. So we're iHeartMedia here. What is something that might clear your head every time? Like, is there a song that you listen to or an artist that you like to?
Oh, geez, I'm a country guy.
You're a country guy?
Yeah, okay. I like the country music, and I have a lot of different artists. But I get into the words and the meaning, and I love just, and it's not one artist. It's all artists.
Of course.
I just love the country vibe,
The storytelling behind it.
Exactly.
Great.
I think we need to write a song on clean air and tell that story of how we can help people. It's one of my dreams. I haven't we haven't done that yet, but
But you will.
we will.
All right.
We will.
That's next. So for people who never think about like the air they're breathing, what is one simple thing someone like me can do to breathe a little easier?
Well, have a sensor.
Yep.
Put the sensor in your home. Let that sensor measure CO2 levels, contaminant VOC levels, particle levels, temperature levels, and humidity levels. I didn't announce this yet, but last Friday we have closed on a sensor company that, believe it or not, our technology is called AtmosAir, and this company is called Aware.
Oh, wow.
So it's a sensor that you place in a space and can measure and monitor all the things that you want to be monitoring for your breathing.
Yeah.
And so I think it's so important to have the visibility of the sensor to show people, hey, maybe there's an issue here, and then have the solution of AtmosAir to help clean it up. So how do we turn the invisible visible? That's how we turn the invisible visible.
There we go.
Yep.
Steve, thank you so much for coming by. It was great having you. I feel I'm walking out of here a lot more educated about the air that I'm breathing every day. So thank you so much.
Eric, thank you, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to tell the world about our technology. Thank you.
Without a doubt.